Eating a high fiber diet can be easy, especially with these 5 simple swaps that you can start using today. This video is sponsored by my friends at Thrive Market, my favorite online grocery retailer. So let's jump right into the very first swap. This one is simple, but I gotta tell it like it is. Plant protein is better than animal protein, especially when it comes to fiber and when it comes to reducing your risk of disease. Now let's just focus on fiber because this video is about fiber. But did you know that animal protein has absolutely no fiber in it? Actually, fiber is only present in plants. It's basically the indigestible carbohydrate that makes up the structure of the plants. Animals do not have fiber. Plants do have fiber. So when you're thinking about what protein should I eat, and I know protein is like the fad thing right now, everybody cares about protein, but guess what, you can get protein from plants too. And not only do you get the protein in the plants, so from beans and soy products and whole grains and nuts and seeds, but you also get a lot of essential fiber. Even if you're not a vegan, I recommend swapping out one of your animal-based, or if you're a vegan, your highly processed vegan meats. Replace one of those with 1 serving of lentils or beans every day. That is going to easily help you increase your fiber. For example, one of my favorite foods are lentils. I eat them all the time in so many recipes, but just 1 cup of cooked lentils contains about 15 grams of fiber. And not just that, that same cup contains 18 grams of plant-based protein. That's about equivalent to 3 eggs. 3 eggs or 1 cup of lentils. I'm definitely going for the lentils because not only did I get the protein, but I also got so much fiber, so many minerals. And in addition to lentils, you can also eat beans and soy products. Soy is a bean, by the way, but soy products like tofu and tempeh. Now tofu, because it is made with soy milk that is curdled, it has less fiber. However, tempeh, which is soybean cake, has all the essential protein and it's got so much fiber as well. So soy products, beans, lentils, we love them. I love Thrive Market, of course, because they deliver the groceries straight to my front door. The convenience factor of that is, chef's kiss, perfect. But not only do they deliver to your front door, but the packaging uses as little plastic as possible, which I really, really do appreciate. Instead, they pack the boxes with paper. So much paper, which we can always use. I'm sure she would love to use for her art projects, right?
Yeah, I want the box.
You want the box. Okay, she wants the box. The Thrive Market membership is $59.99 a year, or you can pay monthly at $12. You'll find that the prices are far lower than you will find at your local health food store and regular natural grocery stores. So if you are a budget shopper, that is something that you will definitely appreciate. And I also think it's really cool that Thrive Market takes EBT. So no matter your financial situation, Thrive Market is for you. Don't forget, Thrive Market is having their biggest sale of the summer where you can save 25% off select items. And if you go to thrivemarket.com/sweetpotatosoul, you'll get an additional 30% off your order plus a free gift. There's a link in the description down below. Head there as soon as you're finished watching this video. Another easy swap that you can start making today is to replace your less than healthy snacks with simple nuts or seeds. Or one thing I even like to do is just a peanut butter and jelly or almond butter and jelly sandwich, especially when I make it on a high fiber bread like Ezekiel bread. That is so easy. Most of us snack, but most of us aren't choosing the best snacks. You do not need to buy packaged stuff that costs a lot of money. You don't have to look for the high fiber logo. Just eat nuts, and if you can't do nuts, eat seeds. Those are such amazing snacks. They are high in fiber, high in protein, high in healthy fats, and will keep you in and will keep you full and fuel you for longer than junk food. If you want to get creative and get in the kitchen, I also have a couple of recipes for almond flour snacks, like almond flour banana bread and almond flour cookies. I love these recipes so much because you still feel like you're getting, you know, your regular quick bread, banana bread, or your regular chocolate chip cookie. However, it's so much healthier because it's made with almond flour as opposed to all-purpose white flour, which has absolutely no fiber and very little nutritional value at all. I'm a snacker, so I have to give you another snack swap. Simply replace your less than healthy snack with fresh fruit. It's so easy to do, and it can be pretty inexpensive, especially right now. We're in the middle of summer, so the watermelon and the peaches and the berries are so abundant and inexpensive. I love fresh fruit because it is so rich in fiber, but it's also rich in a lot of water. And in the summertime and really all year round, it's important to be hydrating ourselves. Which brings me to my next little point about fiber. When you're eating a high fiber diet, it is essential to also consume a lot of water, liquids. Now, you don't just have to drink a glass of water. I love drinking water, I drink it all day. But water isn't the only way you can hydrate yourself. One of my favorite ways to hydrate myself is by eating fresh fruit. Fresh fruit is full of fiber, like I said, but also essential vitamins and minerals, and it tastes so good too. And if you have a sweet tooth, fresh fruit is an amazing snack, especially when you're craving something sweet, because it's naturally sweet and it's good for you. We hear so much about eating a high protein diet and how good that is for you. Protein deficiency is incredibly rare, especially in our country. Instead, people are deficient in fiber, and most Americans are only getting around 15 grams of fiber a day. Now, for the average woman, you really should be getting around 30 grams of fiber, especially if you're eating a standard American diet. However, more can be even better. I know myself, I get around 60 grams of fiber a day. I've been eating a vegan diet since 2011, and my health has never ever been better. And I think so much of my health, my good health, has to do with that high fiber diet. But for so many Americans, eating a lot of fiber is actually difficult. Why is that? It's standard American diet. It's just too much processed food. Processing food usually removes the fiber from the food. That's the good part. That's what you need. So instead, I recommend people eating a plant-forward diet, even if you're not fully vegan, just making sure you get plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and beans every day. I have another easy swap for you. Hopefully all these swaps are easy, but one that we can all be doing is replacing white rice. I know like most of the world eats rice, right? We eat a lot of rice, but replace the white rice with brown rice or a more wholesome whole grain like quinoa or even farro. Now, white rice has been stripped of its bran and its hull, which is where all the fiber is, so you don't have a lot of fiber in it. An easy way to add more fiber to your diet is, start small. You can eat the same thing you're used to, but make little tweaks like replacing the white rice with brown rice. That will take you very far. I mentioned tofu a little bit ago. Now, if you're already a plant-based eater and eating vegan, but you're still trying to increase your fiber consumption, then I recommend replacing your tofu for tempeh. I love tofu and I love tempeh, and they're both soybean products. Now, tofu is made from curdled soy milk. To make tofu, which you can do at home, you make soy milk and then you add a curdling agent to it, and it separates the liquids from the leftover solids, which are very high in protein, and then you can basically make it as firm or soft, like soft tofu, as you'd like. That's how they make tofu that you buy at the grocery store. However, tempeh, which comes from Indonesia, is a fermented soybean cake. Now, because it's just made with the whole soybeans, it's full of fiber. That fiber hasn't been stripped away. You can use it interchangeably for tofu in loads of recipes, especially marinated recipes. Tempeh, like tofu, doesn't have a lot of flavor on its own, but it really sucks up the spices or the marinade, whatever you put on it, which I love. It does have a firmer texture than tofu, so it's not light and like fluffy and soft like tofu. It's firmer, it's meatier, and it's absolutely delicious. Now, soy products like tofu and tempeh are a complete protein, meaning they have all the essential amino acids in sufficient amounts, which I know a lot of people care about, especially if you're trying to eat a high protein, plant-based diet or otherwise high protein diet. Soy products are great for that. But again, if you just want to quickly, easily eat a little bit more fiber, leave the tofu on the shelf today maybe, and grab the tempeh. I'm gonna link to plenty of recipes that, for tempeh, for tofu, for lentils, for beans, for anything I've mentioned in this video. There's so many ways that you can easily add fiber to your diet. I just wanna leave you with a couple little tips. The average American gets around 15 grams of fiber a day. That is not enough. So the recommended amount of fiber for an American woman is 30 grams. Now that is double 15. It might seem daunting, especially before you watch this video, to double your fiber overnight. But just keep in mind, do not double it overnight. Adding a lot of fiber to your diet very quickly can cause some issues. It is going to cause a lot of discomfort if you overnight double your fiber intake. Sorry, but it's true. Instead, what I recommend doing is, speaking to your doctor, speaking to a dietitian to help you figure out how much you need to be adding to get to whatever your fiber goal might be. So little by little, you start adding more fiber, and not only do you add more fiber to your diet slowly, but it helps you become more comfortable making these new foods and trying these new flavors. I know it can feel like a lot to have to change your whole diet overnight to eat healthy, to become healthy, but just know that it is totally unnecessary. You can take your time and also start seeing benefits right away. Now, even if you don't see the benefits, you're not losing all the weight, you haven't reduced your high blood pressure medications, know that it is happening, and know that if you stick with it, stay committed to your health, stay committed to these lifestyle changes, in time, those changes, those benefits are gonna start to make themselves clear and apparent, and you're gonna start seeing them. Your doctor's gonna notice. But just be patient with yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to check out my sponsor, Thrive Market. Go to thrivemarket.com/sweetpotatosoul to get 30% off your first order plus a free gift. And remember, they're currently having their biggest sale of the summer, so you can double up on those savings if you go check them out today. If you have any swaps that you use to help increase your fiber, or any ideas you have for the community, please share them in the comment section down below. And I'm also gonna link to a couple dietitians that I know and that I recommend if you need help and you wanna work with someone. So check those out, all in the description box along with recipes, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, bye.